Right now, somewhere in your body, a decision is being made without your permission. Your pupils are adjusting to the light in this room. Your blood sugar is rising or falling based on what you ate an hour ago. Your heart rate just changed slightly because a notification flashed on your screen. You didn't choose any of that. Something older than you did. Something that has never seen a phone, a streetlight, or a bag of chips. And yet it is still in charge of how you react to all three. Here's the strange part. That something isn't a metaphor. It's not a personality trait or a mood. It's a set of biological systems, fine-tuned over hundreds of thousands of years, that are still running the exact same code they ran on the savannah. Your body, in a very real sense, doesn't know it's not 50,000 years ago. Scientists have a name for this. It's called evolutionary mismatch. The idea is simple, even if the consequences are not. For almost the entire span of human existence, your ancestors lived as hunter-gatherers. Small bands, constant movement, unpredictable food, real physical danger. That world shaped the body you're sitting in right now. Then, about 10,000 years ago, agriculture showed up. Cities followed, then factories, then screens. In the grand timeline of human history, that's not even a full breath. It's a blink. Natural selection does not work on blinks. It works on hundreds of thousands of years. Generation stacked on generation. Tiny adjustments accumulating so slowly, you'd need a geological clock to notice them. Your genome simply hasn't caught up to the last 10,000 years. Most of it is still calibrated for the world before agriculture even existed. So what happens when a body built for scarcity meets a world built on abundance? What happens when a nervous system built for physical threats meets a world full of emails? You get mismatch. And mismatch shows up everywhere if you know where to look. Start with food. Your craving for sugar and fat isn't a character flaw. It's an instruction manual from an environment that doesn't exist anymore. For most of human history, calories were rare and unpredictable. A piece of ripe fruit or a chunk of fatty meat could mean the difference between surviving the week or not. So your brain built a powerful reward system around exactly those foods. Find sugar, feel good. Find fat, feel even better. Eat as much as you can, because you have no idea when you'll eat again. That system worked beautifully for hundreds of thousands of years. It still works. The problem is the environment changed and the instructions didn't. Now sugar and fat aren't rare. They're in nearly everything, available at every gas station, every vending machine, every drive-through window, 24 hours a day. The reward system that once kept your ancestors alive during famine is now responding to a world of permanent engineered abundance. Researchers studying what's called the thrifty phenotype hypothesis have shown how a body shaped to expect scarcity can struggle badly when it instead receives constant surplus. You're not weak for wanting the donut. You're running ancient software in a modern store. And this isn't only about willpower at the moment of temptation, it starts earlier than that, in the womb. A field of research known as the developmental origins of health and disease has found that a fetus exposed to certain nutritional signals essentially makes a prediction about the world it's about to be born into. If those signals suggest scarcity, the body adjusts, preparing itself to store fat efficiently and conserve energy, just in case food stays hard to find. That prediction made perfect sense for most of human history, when a tough pregnancy often did mean a tough world outside the womb too. But predictions can be wrong. A body that prepares for scarcity then gets born into a world of constant abundance, ends up holding on to every calorie it can, in an environment that never runs short. The forecast and the weather stopped matching. The body just never got the memo. Now think about sleep. Your ancestors didn't have alarm clocks. They had the sun. When light disappeared, so did most of their activity. Darkness was the cue. It told the body, slow down, produce melatonin, prepare to rest. That system is called your circadian rhythm, and it's older than language itself. It evolved entirely around one variable, the presence or absence of natural light. Now picture your evening. A bright phone screen 6 inches from your face at 11 at night. Overhead, LED lights blasting through your living room long after sunset. Your circadian system doesn't know the difference between a screen and a second sun. It just sees light and assumes daytime. So it delays the very chemical signals that are supposed to wind you down. You're not bad at sleeping. You're sending your body the wrong instructions in a language it has used successfully for 1,000,000 years and has no reason to distrust now. Here's where it gets even stranger. This mismatch isn't just about food and sleep. It's about fear itself. Your stress response, the fast heartbeat, the tight chest, the racing thoughts, was built for one specific kind of danger. A predator. A physical threat that required you to fight or run. That system, sometimes called the fight-or-flight response, is brutally efficient. It floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline, sharpens your senses, and prepares your muscles for sudden, explosive action. It was never designed for a deadline. It was never designed for a passive-aggressive email or a difficult conversation you're dreading or doom-scrolling through bad news for 45 minutes straight. But your body doesn't have a separate system for modern stress. It has one stress response, built for lions, and it fires the exact same way whether you're facing a predator or a notification. Researchers working in the field of evolutionary medicine, building on theory popularized by Gluckman and Hansen, describe this exact pattern. A system tuned for one environment, now reacting in full force to a completely different one. The chemicals are the same. The danger isn't. Have you ever wondered why a single tense email can leave you feeling like you just ran from something? Now that's your fight-or-flight system, doing exactly what it was built to do, just pointed at the wrong target. There's no lion. There's no escape required. But your body doesn't know that. It just knows the alarm went off. This is the strange truth sitting underneath almost every part of modern life. The body wasn't built for this world. It was built for a much older one, and it's still trying to keep you alive inside that older world, even while you're living in this one. It's worth pausing here. None of this means you're broken. It means you're well-designed for a different time. Think about your attention span for a second. In a hunter-gatherer environment, constantly scanning your surroundings for movement, sound, anything new, kept you alive. Novelty meant something. It might be food, it might be danger. Either way, it deserved your full attention immediately. Now scroll through any app on your phone. Every few seconds, something new appears. A new photo, a new headline, a new sound. Your brain treats each one exactly the way it would treat a rustle in the grass. This could be important, except none of it is actually dangerous, and none of it actually requires immediate action. The app isn't trying to kill you or feed you. It's just exploiting a system that evolved to take novelty very seriously. This is part of why an hour of scrolling can leave you feeling oddly exhausted, even though you never got up from the couch. Your ancient alertness system was firing the entire time, treating each swipe like a tiny potential emergency. And then there's loneliness, maybe the clearest mismatch of all. For nearly all of human history, survival depended on the group. A lone human on the savannah, cut off from the band, was in serious danger. No backup against predators. No one to share food during a bad week. No one to help raise children or defend the camp. Isolation wasn't just unpleasant, it was often lethal. So evolution built loneliness as an alarm, not a personality issue. An alarm, just like hunger or thirst, designed to push you back toward other people before isolation actually killed you. Now look at how many of us live. Single-person households at historic highs. Friendships maintained mostly through screens instead of shared physical space. Entire days passing with only brief, low-quality digital contact. The alarm is still going off because the underlying danger your body is tracking genuinely still applies. Even in a crowded city, you can be surrounded by millions of people and still trigger the same ancient alarm your ancestors felt when they were stranded miles from their tribe. It's a strange kind of mismatch because it's not about quantity of contact, it's about quality and proximity. Brief digital exchanges, a like, a comment, a quick message, can register as social contact in a shallow sense without ever satisfying the deeper system underneath. That system isn't tracking how many people know your name. It's tracking something closer to physical safety, the kind that only comes from sustained presence, shared effort, and people who would actually notice if you disappeared for a week. Modern life makes it easy to rack up contact without ever feeding that older, more demanding need. So where does this leave you? Not powerless. That's the important part. Understanding the mismatch doesn't mean surrendering to it. It means finally recognizing what you're actually working with. When you can't sleep after scrolling, that's not laziness. That's a circadian rhythm reading a screen as sunlight. When your heart races before a presentation, that's not weakness. That's a fight or flight system that has never once seen a slideshow, doing the only thing it knows how to do. You are not malfunctioning. You're a few 100,000 years of evolution, doing its absolute best in a world it has never encountered before. And maybe that's the real reframe here. We tend to talk about progress as something that happened entirely in the world around us. New tools, new buildings, new technology, racing ahead at a pace no one could have predicted. But your body didn't get an upgrade to match. It's still the same essential machine that walked across grasslands, hunted in small groups, slept by firelight, and depended completely on the people nearest to it. Tonight, when you reach for your phone in the dark, or feel that pull towards something sweet after a long day, or notice your chest tighten before a hard conversation, you're not seeing a flaw in who you are. You're watching 50,000 years reach forward, trying in its own ancient and imperfect language to keep you alive in a world it was never built for.